morning. We are going to start looking at the hives, and we're going to look for swarm cells, see if there's anything in there. That's all I'm going to do. Maybe look and see if we have good brood. But that's pretty much what I want to do today. Just go through real quick, see if there's any swarm cells, see if there's any brood, and that'll be it. We'll notice right away if there's any honey in there. Maybe we can see the pollen, because of the coloring and how the weight of the frames feel. All right. I'm also gonna remove spacers for feeding. This second hive has a high top entrance. Remove from a feeder board that's in there. Remove that as well, because they're just using the top. I want them to go back to the bottom. I still got to debate whether I'm going to increase the size. If they have enough population, I think I'm going to increase the size of their lower entrances. I'm also going to maybe take advantage of the time and add the pollen collectors at the bottom. All right, stay tuned. I'm gonna suit up, get the smoker going. All right, I'm gonna make a quick little video so you can see how I light my smoker. Obviously, you need a lighter of sorts. You need some your choice material to burn. I like to use some paper. It's free. Comes with packages that we get delivered. I forget what the material this is, but oh my goodness, it's like a canvas thing, and pine shavings. I'll put this at the top. It'll act like a little filter so that embers don't come out at the top, but it'll burn as well. This is why I'll put this in last. All right. Good thing I did not see any swarm cells in here, just a little wonky comb and this old little cell. In case you didn't catch that, most of these had tons of frames of bees. In this one, 8 frames were full and no swarm cells so far. I'm gonna have to come back and repaint these boxes. Looking at the bottom of this box, you can clearly see how many bees are covering those frames, or how many frames are covered in bees. Again, here there are no swarm cells. Everything looks fantastic. Here I decide to break open this box and take a look at what we have inside these frames. Are they building brood? Do they have honey? Do they have nectar? Is there any pollen in here? Are there any signs of a queen? Let's take a look. Always you want to start with an edge frame. Usually we have resources on the ends of the boxes, reduce the risk of damaging or having a queen be in these areas, but you still want to take your time and do things slowly and move slow. Smoking if needed, where needed, when needed. Bee bread. No larva yet here. Give them a little smoke. So this was the swarm that I had before. Combined them.
This is going to be a good candidate for a split. My guess is I can probably get a couple splits out of this. I'll use these. Alright. Put my flashlight out. Alright.
So this is box number 3, and we have eggs in here. See if I can get it in here so you can see. There's like a little grain inside these cells, so we do have eggs in here. Let's put them back in quick. All right. I think I'm happy with that. I think So this was a combination that I had made with a new queen and a swarm that I caught during the year out in Sharon, Mass. So I combined them together, and you'll see here in a couple seconds how there was still a newspaper that they didn't clean out completely. So I helped out the bees a little bit here at the bottom and cleaned out some of that old newspaper, and you can see it there at the end. I'm also going to take the time to check the bottom, make sure there's nothing crazy in there, and also clean up the remaining newspaper. All right, guys, thank you so much for standing by. I apologize for all the background noise here in my neighborhood, but we just finished our first inspection of this hive, which is a combination that we did at the end of the fall last year in 2025. But this went well. I was very happy with the findings as we were able to see eggs, larvae, and capped brood. We also observed pollen, bee bread, nectar, and some honey left in there. The population of bees was exceptional, with bees on about 80% of the frames in each box, except for the entry box all the way at the bottom, which that is acceptable based on the fact that bees move up the hive during the winter. There was a lot of pollen being observed the other day coming in through the front, which, by the way, we did increase the front entrance to the 4-inch. So the bees are going to be happy with that. And the reason why this box has that little gate to close out an extra little entrance is because I used to use this bottom deep as a swarm trap, and that gave me the ability to just close them out, move the box, and relocate any potential swarm that would have found themselves inside the box. Unfortunately, it didn't get me any swarms, but it did serve a purpose to give me extra space on here, as the bees that I did consolidate into this box came from a queen castle where I was holding some queens during the year. But thank you so much for stopping by and taking a peek here with me. I appreciate your time and your stopping by.
to say hi. All right, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll speed up the rest of this video for y'all. Thank you.